We're finally going to answer the age-old question. Should women be pursuing men? Hello Starlets, I'm Sarah from Everyday Starlet. Welcome to my channel. I make videos to inspire you to be the star of your own life. Today I want to talk about masculine and feminine energies when it comes to dating and who should be the one to lead the relationship and who should be the one to be led in the relationship. If you want to know more what I mean by masculine and feminine energies, I have other videos about that, so I will link those to this one. There's a lot of dating advice out there, like just a ton of dating advice. And there's just a lot of advice out there that I just feel like we need to stop. It just needs to stop, right? I feel like one of the pieces of dating advice that I hear, and I hear it from both sides, I hear people telling women this and I hear people telling men this, I think is so destructive in the long term, and I just really wanted to talk about it, is like who does the chasing in the relationship and who is the one who leans back and gets pursued. And that's from, you know, making moves, asking people out on dates, initiating dates, things like that. I feel like there is a lot of, well, there's a lot of dating advice that is telling women that they need to start doing the chasing and chasing men. And I feel like I see a lot of men's dating advice places that are popping up now that are saying that men need to like lean back and appear aloof and let the women come to them. I think that's really, really bad advice most of the time, and I will actually give an exception when I do think that that might be decent advice. Starting off with women and women getting told that like they need to do the pursuing, that they need to chase men. I have been telling women for years, to stop chasing men. Stop pursuing them, stop asking them out, stop doing it. And I understand why women get that attitude in their head, because women are kind of pushed, some women want to be, but some women are pushed into the energy of like going for what you want, being aggressive, going for the job in their everyday life. And so it's like, well, why shouldn't I do that in my relationships? It doesn't work that way. It doesn't translate that way. And I've been telling women that for years. And women either already know that and they don't need me to tell them that, or they're gonna argue with me that they should be able to ask men out. They're gonna be like, I asked my husband out and we've been married for 20 years and I'm willing to bet that probably you would tell me you weren't happy with your husband, but whatever. I'm just gonna, maybe you are, I don't know. I'm not gonna judge, but I'm just gonna say, ladies, please stop. This is my final plea, because beyond this, I don't know what else I can tell you. I am going to address the advice that's given to men, and maybe if some of the women listening listen to me address why I'm going to tell men not to lean back and be pursued, maybe that it'll kick in with women. I don't know, but I just, ladies, please listen to me and stop chasing men. I can't, just please stop. Now to address the men and the advice that I want to give to men, and I realize that men are not my primary audience on this channel. If there are any men watching, or maybe if the women watching might get something from this. When it comes to should men pursue women or should they just lean back? If I had a group of men in front of me, hopefully they're single, that would be cool. But anyway, never mind. If I could give like a dating advice message to all the men out there, it would be this. Ask yourself if you want to be the leader in a relationship, like in whatever form of relationship that you want. Do you want to be the leader of that relationship, or do you want to be led in the relationship? My guess is most men are going to say that they want to be the leader of a relationship. That's the natural instinct of most men. Now, if you are a man and you're telling me that you would rather be led in a relationship, no shame, no shade, that is really what you want, then by all means embody that, live it, and find a partner who wants to lead you. And in that case, by all means, lean back and let your partner chase you. If you're like most males and you're like, I want to lead the relationship, you can't do that like aloof, lean back, date a lot of women, make yourself look appealing, and get a woman to chase you thing. I'm gonna tell you why that's not gonna work. Chasing and pursuing, right, is masculine energy. That's the masculine energy in all of us. We all have both masculine and feminine energies. We all have a core energy at our core. And if you are telling me that you want to be the leader in the relationship, it means you probably have a masculine core. Doesn't mean that you can't tap into your feminine energy. Doesn't mean that your partner can't tap into their masculine energy or feminine energy or anything. But you are going to want, if you want polarity in a relationship, you are going to want a partner who is at their core a feminine woman. So because that because that chasing energy is deep in the masculine. It's the energy that wants to like go out to the hunt. It's the energy of going out and hunting to get dinner or whatever it is. If you want to embody the masculine in the relationship, right? If you lean back and let yourself be pursued, which I get it, that can be very appealing. You do less work that way, right? But if you want to lean back and pursue, you want to date a whole bunch of women, you want to make yourself seem very alluring and very appealing, and I'm not saying don't look appealing or anything, but if you are in that like just lean back, let the women come to you kind of energy, right? You're going to attract one of two types of women. Could attract a woman that is a combination of both, but we're going to separate the two just for simplicity's sake. You're either going to attract a woman who is heavily in her masculine energy. She might be naturally masculine at her core, or she just might be really strong in her masculine energy because of, you know, her job, her life. A lot of women nowadays are kind of pushed into that masculine energy just because of the way our society is created right now. If you lean back, you're going to attract a woman that is likely in her masculine energy, because that's the energy that wants to chase. A woman who's in like a healthy feminine energy, she's not going to want to chase you. She's not going to be in chase mode. Chasing's not going to be her instinct. So you are going to attract and draw in a woman who is in her masculine energy. She's going to chase you because she's in pursuing mode. She's in that masculine energy, right? So here's what happens when you do. If she does chase you and you two do get along and things work out, you two do get into a relationship together. Well, if you decide, well, now we're in a relationship, I want to lead, newsflash, she's not going to let you lead. She's the leader. She's the alpha. Like, she chased and caught you. So she's not going to then be able to lean back and, I know submit is kind of a triggering word for people, but she's not going to be able to submit to your masculine energy because she's not going to trust it, because she's in her own, you know. I mean, she's established herself as the masculine energy in the relationship. And that's not to say that those can't shift in relationships, which they can, but particularly early on in a relationship, it's difficult to shift those energies when you're just starting to establish a connection with somebody. And I mean, and really, I mean, you're now changing the things that drew you together in the first place. So that's typically what happens a lot of times when you see couples who are constantly butting heads, they're constantly fighting, they're very competitive with each other, you know, and not, I mean, healthy competition can be okay, but like they're constantly competing with each other because they both want to be the alpha dog, you know what I mean? Like they both want to, they don't want to share their water dish, you know what I mean? Like they want to be the ones in charge. So if you want to be the leader of your relationship, you have to lead from the very beginning. You have to be the one that pursues, the one that actually initiates the dates, the one that actually, again, pursues the feminine, because the feminine is the one who leans back and magnetizes people to them. So if you want a healthy feminine woman, you can't lean back and let a woman chase you, because you're going to attract a masculine woman. Now, the other scenario that could potentially happen if you do attract a feminine woman is you very well could potentially attract a wounded feminine woman. Now, the wounded feminine tends to be, she tends to be very self-destructive. She can exhibit a lot of, very often addiction or self-harm patterns. She tends to not have any boundaries, so she doesn't have a lot of self-respect. She doesn't have a lot of self-worth to actually own those boundaries. I've been this woman, I know her very well. It's not guaranteed that a wounded feminine woman will chase you. Very likely when you're dealing with a wounded feminine woman that she probably, because she doesn't have a really strong sense of boundaries, she probably got physical with you too soon, or just emotionally connected too soon, or both. So she's now attached to you probably more than you are to her at this point. So if she does pursue you, it's going to be out of fear of being alone, fear of, you know, anxiety, fear of abandonment. She's not going to be, it's probably not even going to be about you, to be totally honest with you. It's not going to, I mean, it's probably going to feel like to your ego, like, oh, this chick's really into me. It's probably not even about you. It's about her fear of being alone, her fear of losing something that she's already attached to. Those are the women who end up getting labeled as crazy. You know what I mean? Those are the women that then turn around and accuse you of manipulating her. Because, I mean, whether you intended to or not, in a way you kind of were. You were leaning back and you were letting her pursue you. If you do end up in a relationship with this woman, she may let you lead, but it's not going to be from a place of trust. It's going to be from a place of fear. She's really never going to fully trust in your leadership. So there's always going to be that anxiety. There's always going to be that. It's going to be from a very wounded place. It's not going to be a healthy situation. Now, can she potentially move into, if someone is a wounded feminine, can they move into a healthy feminine energy in the course of a relationship? Yes, she absolutely can. Anybody can work on their wounds at any point that they need to or that they're ready to. But very often that can fall into a category where the masculine cord being then kind of ends up taking on a lot of the burden of trying to save the wounded feminine woman, or just doesn't want to be bothered with the burden of trying to save her, and that's just going to cause her to feel even more rejected. And likely these are women that eventually are going to kind of snap, and it can become very self-destructive. And healing things like that can be really a lot of strain on a newer relationship, so that hasn't already sort of established a real connection. I hope that the men listening and even the women listening to this understand why it is so important in relationships for the masculine being, the one who wants to lead the relationship ultimately, they need to do the pursuing. They need to do the asking out. They need to be the one who initiates dates. They need to be the one to do that, because that's how they establish leadership. That's how they establish that they're the masculine in the relationship. That's how they begin to establish trust in the relationship, so that then the feminine cord being then can step into, when the relationship does become a serious relationship, they now trust in the masculine's leadership. They now believe in this person because they haven't been either forced to pursue them, or they haven't been feeling like they've been dragged along the way. So it becomes more, it leads you into a healthier partnership that way. And again, this can go for any gender. It's just a matter of knowing which core energy you are and what you ultimately want from a relationship. If you ultimately want to be the leader in a relationship, you have to lead from the beginning. I know that there's a lot of guys out there who are gonna say, well, what does she bring to the table? If you at any point in the relationship decide that you do not want to keep pursuing this woman, whether she be feminine woman or whatever it is, if at any point you don't want to keep pursuing her, you don't have to keep pursuing her. If at any point you decide that, you know what, she's, I don't like to use the word worth, but you don't feel like your connection with her, your compatibility with her is what you're looking for, you don't have to keep pursuing her. I mean, you don't. I mean, there's nothing wrong with deciding, hey, you know what, this isn't working. We're gonna go our separate ways. And I'm not gonna get into the whole idea of like how to end it or how to ghosting and all that. I'm not even getting into all that kind of stuff. That's a whole other topic. But yeah, it's not a matter, if you don't think that a woman is worth the effort, then don't make the effort. You know, then just move on to somebody who you do think is worth the effort. You know, I mean, but if it's somebody who you do feel like you want to pursue and you want to get to know and you want to see where it goes, then you have to do the pursuing, and if you want to eventually lead the relationship. I hope that any of the men watching learned something. I hope that some of the women watching learned something, and maybe in explaining this to men, maybe some of the women who keep rejecting what I'm saying this whole time will actually listen to me. And I'm sure there's some women out there who are going to just be like, nope, I want to chase men, I'm going to get what I want, and I shouldn't have to just sit back. And ladies, I get it. Like, going back to women for a second, I get it. It's tough. Like, when there are other women out there who are chasing men and they're asking the guys out and they're making the moves and they have a different date every night and you know, they're, you know, popular. To be honest, they're either attracting guys who are feminine at their core, who are basically going to be passive and never going to actually lead the relationship, or they're attracting guys who are just going for low-hanging fruit. I mean, I know I hate that. I do feel like it's a degrading analogy, but it is. You know what I mean? Like, if it's low-hanging fruit and guys are going to take it because it's easy. And I I don't want, and this has nothing to do with anybody's sexual choices or anything like that, but I don't want you to be easy. You know what I mean? Even if you do want to pursue a sexual relationship or something like that, like I want you to value yourself, and I want everybody to really look at themselves and ask themselves what they want, and then try to make the effort to embody the person that is going to attract those that are compatible with them. That's really what I want for you. So I hope this explanation made sense. I hope that you got something out of this. Please don't argue with me. I feel like the most controversial thing I ever say on social media is that men should pay on dates, and I really hope that this doesn't turn into a whole thing, but this is what it is. Like, this is real and this is true, and I didn't make the rules. I'm just telling you what they are. I mean, I personally would rather date quality over quantity any day. My personal belief, but at the end of the day, you can do what you want. And when you realize I'm right, just come back to this video and just leave a comment and just be like, you're right. And I promise you, I will not do the I told you so dance. I will just smile and thank you for listening. Just saying. So I hope you got something from this video. If you have any other masculine, feminine, dating, relationship topics that you would like me to cover in these videos, let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you. I love your suggestions. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you join me next time.